Gattram Jnanavairagyabhushanam Srimadvenkatanathāryam Vande Vedantadeshikam Lakshminatha Samarambham Natha Yamuna Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Yo Nityam Achyuta Padambuja Yugma Rukma Vyamohata Staditarani Trinayamene Asmad Gurur Bhagavatosya Dayaika Sindhoho Ramanujasya Charanau Sharanam Prapadye Mata Pita Yuvatayastanaya Vibhutis Sarvam Yadeva Niyamena Madanvayanam Adyasyanah Kulapater Vakulabhiramam Srimat Tadangri Yugalam Pranamami Murdhana Bhutam Sarascha Mahadahvaya Bhattanatha Sri Bhaktisara Kulashekara Yogi Vahan Bhaktangri Renu Parakala Yatindra Mishran Srimat Parankushamunim Pranatosmi Nityam Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Vyasam Vasishtanaptaram Shaktef Pautram Akalmasham Parasharatmajam Vande Shukatatam Taponidhim Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vaif Brahmanidhaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha Achaturvadanor Brahma Vibahur Aparoharihi Apala Lochana Shambhu Bhagavan Badarayanaha Parasharya Vachasudham Sumanasaha Dugdhabdi Madhyodritam Samsaragni Vidipana Vyavagata Pranatma Sanjeevani Purvacharya Surakshitam Bahumatim Vyaghata Durasthitam Anitam Tu Nijaksharahi Sumanasaha Bhaumaf Pibantvan Vaham Vedeshu Paurusham Suktam Dharmashastreshu Manavam Bharate Bhagavad Gita Puraneshu Cha Vaishnavam. Namaskarams to all the Astikas who have gathered for listening to part 2 of our Veda series. Tentatively, our first 3 lectures were scheduled for Purusha Suktam. In the famous popular version of Purusha Suktam that we adhere to mostly from Krishna Yajurvedam, it has got 18 mantras and we have covered 2. So we have 16 remaining and we have 2 lectures left. So I'm not sure how much I can cover in these 2 lectures. If there is a spillover, we go to lecture number 4. Lecture number 4 and 5 tentatively we have scheduled for the remaining portion of Purusha Suktam and we will begin with Sri Suktam. Lecture number 3, this is 2. Lecture number 3 will happen in the month of February, if I am right, on the 24th of February. Between 5 and 7 p.m, same venue, 24th February. Then lecture number 4, 5, 6 we have not scheduled as yet. We may do it together on a weekend, maybe in the month of May or June. There we shall focus on Sri Suktam, Bhu Suktam, Nila Suktam, and we may also venture Durga Suktam. Sri Suktam, Bhu Suktam, Nila Suktam and Durga Suktam. And then we may take up Sri Rudram and Chamakam for the remaining 4 lectures, or we may also introduce Narayana Suktam. So everything is very fluid now. It all depends on how I'm able to stick to the topic and speak, which I generally don't do. So, Purusha Suktam is that small portion of the Vedas. Remember, Anantavai Vedaha, Veda is very, very infinite, as what our Acharyas have always defined it to be. That said, there is something called Upayukta Veda Bhagam. Upayukta Veda Bhagam means, though Vedas in entirety have to be respected, revered, regarded and commented upon by all our Acharyas and all Bhagavatottamas like all of us. It is very wrong to call us Bhagavatottamas, but I have no other word for now. Astikas like us. But there are certain portions of the Vedas which is called Upayukta Veda Bhagam, which we may end up deploying or using in our daily life. In that there is of course Pancha Suktam, which is Narayana Suktam, Vishnu Suktam. We have got Purusha Suktam, Sri Suktam, Bhu and Nila together. Then there is Sri Rudram and Chamakam. These are all the important portions. When I say important, please, so worried about what to talk these days. If I say this is important, it doesn't mean the remaining part is not important. What I mean to say is, if not for the entirety, at least recite this. That's it. In Purusha Suktam, as I've spoken in the previous lecture, we have that present in Rig Vedam, we have that present in Shukla Yajurvedam and Krishna Yajurvedam, we have that present in Sama Vedam, and we have that present in Atharvana Vedam. So all the 4 Vedas, inclusive of the Shukla and Krishna Yajurveda portions, comprises of Purusha Suktam. But the number of passages vary. Maybe a Rig Vedam may have 8. Sama Vedam has 8. Rig Vedam will have slightly more, 12 or 13. Krishna Yajurvedam will have all the 18. So the number of passages may differ. But Purusha Suktam is found in all the 4 Vedas. 1. Who are the commentators? 5 of them. Sayanacharya, Bhattabhaskara, Uvatacharya, Mahidharacharya, and Rangaramanuja Muni. We have 5 acharyas who have commented upon this Purusha Sukta Bhagam. In our previous lecture, what did we speak? First, we had to understand how the Vedas came into picture, how Vyasa distributed and bifurcated them into Rig, Yajuhu, Sama, Atharvanam. Remember, Vyasa only bucketed them. They were already in that Swarupam before. He just bucketed. Why I am telling you this? Commonly asked question. When Dasharatha performed Ashwamedha, I have personally mentioned in many of my lectures that he belonged to which Veda? I mentioned this in my lecture. Only if we listen, we will know, sir. We have come for the first time, some of us. We thought we will just test like a guinea pig and check if you are good or not. So which Veda did Dasharatha belong to? Shukla Yajurvedam, says clearly Ramayana. Based on which Veda did his son-in-law called Rishyashringa perform Putrakameshti? Atharvana Veda. So there is a clear mention by the commentators that they adhere to Shukla Yajurveda and Atharvana Veda. Why am I giving this example? Because Vyasa came only after the Ramayana time period. If we go up or end up believing that it was Vyasa only who brought in the 4 Vedas, which a popular version is, then what will happen to this delineation of Dasharatha performing Yagam? So even before Vyasa, all the 4 Vedas existed. Just that with common and regular usage, they had jumbled together. I'm sure when we shift from one house to the other, we end up putting a lot of chains together. When we go to the new house, it will take one full day to disentangle them and take them separately. Vyasa did only that. Vyasa did not discover Vedas. He did not invent Vedas. He just bucketed them. The right word from Six Sigma, bucketing. That alone he did. So, in our understanding of the Vedas, Purusha Sukta is an important portion. And we have 5 acharyas commenting upon it. What is the first mantra? If you are following the Rig Veda, then it is called a Rig. Otherwise, you can call it a mantra. Sahasra Shirisha Purushaha. The Purushaha, whom we know as Sahasra Shiras. He has got 1,000 heads. Sahasrakshaha. He has got 1,000 eyes. Sahasrapat. He has got 1,000 legs. Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishtat Dashangulam. So, while we spoke about this mantra in detail, I don't want to get into the details of this mantra because I have a lot to cover. But some of you may have not attended the previous lecture. How many of you did not attend? You didn't attend the previous lecture. Very good. How many of you, this was uploaded on the YouTube. How many of you did not, you might have not attended, that's okay. How many of you did not listen to the first lecture? It is there on YouTube. Oh, the remaining have, fine, don't worry, you can go listen today. I won't be able to repeat that entire portion. But I can tell you the crux, the essence of it. Sahasra Shiras is Adharatvam. It doesn't denote the head. It is a Drishta Vidhi. It is an illustration. It says the face is the Adhara Bhutam. The eyes and the nose can't float in air. It needs some substratum. So face becomes that substratum. The head becomes the substratum. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha means he is Sarva Adharatvam. Sahasrakshaha, Sarva Darshanatvam. He can see everything around him and he can see what is beyond his realm of seeing as well. Sahasrakshaha, Sahasrapad. He pervades every inch of space. Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishthad Dashangulam. He is present between the forehead space to the mouth, to the chin. He is present inside the cavity. He is present from the distance of the mouth, Vak Devata, because we have 4 levels of speech. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari. These are the 4 levels of speech. The first level, Para, emerges from the Nabhi. From the Nabhi to the Hridaya Kamalam, Pashyanti. From the Hridaya Kamalam to the vocal cord, Madhyama. From the vocal cord to outside, it is Vaikhari. So speech has 4 stages. If you are reciting Lalita Sahasranamam, you will get these names. Madhyama, Vaikhari, Rupa. All these names denote the 4 levels of speech. Paradi Chatvari Vagatmaka Pranava Swarupa Vakratundam Nirantaram Nidila Chandra Khandam Nijavamakara. Paradi Chatvari Vagatmaka. 4 levels of speech. So, at times we say, even on a lighter vein, we say, it is there here, it is not coming out, which means Vaikhari is not working. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama is working. Vaikhari is not working. So, these are the 4 levels of one's speech. So, between that space from which the speech comes to the Hridayam, again there is a commentary which says the distance is Dashangulam. So, Purusha either stays between the heart till this cavity or within the mouth cavity, which is Dashangulam, because it means the breadth of one finger. If you put 10 such breadths together, then that is called Dashangulam. Or they say, take a grain, keep it side by side and create a line. A mala, when it is, when a dvipa is in the shape of a mala, mala dvipam, mala deep, you call it today. It has been in the news for the last 2 days, right? Mala deep means mala dvipe. It will be like a chain of islands. Mala dvipam is mala deep. Now, this Dashangulam has been mentioned. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha, Sahasrakshas Sahasrapad, Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishthad Dashangulam. He pervades every inch of space. What does the next mantra say? Yad Bhutam, Yaccha Bhavyam, Purushaye Vedagum Sarvam. That Purusha whom you know pervades this entire space. Yad Bhutam, Yaccha Bhavyam. Yad Bhutam. Bhutam means past. He pervaded and was there in the past. Yaccha Bhavyam. He will be in the future. What is the word for present? Vartaman, sir. You don't know that also. But where is that Vartaman in this mantra? Yad Bhutam, past. Yaccha Bhavyam, future. Where is that present? That is why the first part says, Purusha Eva Idam Sarvam. Idam Sarvam, which means present. Remember this word. See, in our Shastras, present tense is believed to be a lot volatile. Because past is perfected. Future is expected. Present is what is volatile. Because what was present a second back becomes past. So, present is present in this line. Purusha eva idam sarvam. See, this present word is extremely important for us to decipher even the Ramayana. There is always a concept, right? Some scholars in the name of research would say, Valmiki Ramayana was written in the post-Buddha period. We will have somehow Everybody wants to, give so much of importance to Buddha and Buddhism in order to attack Sanatana Dharma. It is not out of love for Buddha. Right? If one great national leader might have taken up to Buddhism, that becomes our benchmark. He himself took up to Buddhism, said this. He himself won't work. Then what word will we add for Shankara and Ramanuja? They themselves followed Sanatana Dharma, right? We should add that word there. So somehow there is a fascination for Buddhism without understanding an iota of Buddhism. What will they do to venerate Buddhism? They will first keep a photo of Buddha. They'll keep 2-3 hibiscus flowers, some bougainvillea flowers at the bottom, and they will worship Buddha. Who is Buddha? Buddha said, there is no God. And they will worship Buddha who says there is no God. What to do? Now, the understanding of Buddhist philosophy itself is so low. If you talk about Buddhism, what will come to our mind? Buddham charanam gacchami, Sangam charanam gacchami, Dharmam charanam gacchami. Then we will remember Shah Rukh Khan in Ashoka movie. Then one or two, some serials we will remember. This is our understanding of Buddhism, which is very scanty and meager to say the least. Do we even know that there are texts called Abhidhamma texts? What are its sutras? What are the 4 basic principles of Buddhism? How they bifurcated into Madhyamika, Vaiseshika, Sautrantika, Yogachara, and how it became Hinayana and Mahayana later. And what are the criticisms against it raised by Adi Shankara in his Brahma Sutra Bhashyam, later by Ramanuja in his Sri Bhashyam? No. But we want to somehow, for bringing down Sanatana Dharma, somehow say that Buddha spread peace. What did Rama and Krishna do? Right? Somehow we've come with these cliched statements without this. And there will be many beautiful Twitter handles. Somehow they'll copy from somewhere. So there is no plagiarism case against Twitter handles. You can do anything you want. Why I'm telling you this is, I'm sure you're all attending the lecture of a not so heard topic, of a not so of a not generally understood to be an understandable topic, like a Purusha Suktam. So when you all become ambassadors of Sanatana Dharma, please ensure you carry the authentic message of Sanatana Dharma. That said, why does Ramayana become important to us? Because when Valmiki poses a series of questions, Konvasmin Sampratam Loke Gunavan, while Narada Maharshi comes to the ashrama of Valmiki, Valmiki says, I have a series of questions to be asked, answers to be given by you. Hey Vagvidambaram, the one who is very adept in speech. Tapaswadhyaya niratam, the one who always engages yourself in tapaha, and swadhyaya. So, O Narada Maharshi, please answer my questions. Narada immediately said, ask. You can do with your body language, right? You can say. And immediately Valmiki asked, Kon Vasmin, who is that one? Sampratam loke, in our present world. So this word Sampratam means present. That first few shlokas in Ramayana thereby confirm to us without any ambiguity that Valmiki lived during the times of Rama and composed Ramayana. So it was not in the post-Buddhist period, pre-Buddhist period. Why can't we find manuscripts, sir? Because our civilization believed in Shruti and Smriti. Listen and remember. No writing it down. But today you have to write down points. See, a lecture like this mandates all of you to share your notes with many of your family members. Let them also understand. Purusha eva idam sarvam. Eva idam we put together in Veda and we create a sound. Purusha eve the gum. The gum will come in Vedam. It won't come in normal literature. See, Vedic sounds will be slightly different. Purusha eve the gum. Sarvam. That eva ida gum. That becomes when you separate. See, in Sanskritam, the beauty is in certain places you should never split words. Let's say in music. It is better we don't split. If we split, then there is some amount of confusion in the listener's mind. But when we want to understand The Sahityam better, we have to split. For example, the famous Pancharatnam of Tyagaraja Swami. Very famous. People get together on the sands of Kaveri in Panchanadi Kshetram called Tiruvayyaru and sing together. Those who know sing, those who don't know also sing. That is the beauty of Pancharatnam. Aganita guna kanaka chela sala vidalana runa bhasamana charana para mahima dhuta sukha vijana hritsadana sura muni gana vida kalasha nira nidhija ramana papa gaja nrisimha varatyaga raja dinuda jagadananda karaka. You go and ask a musician, do this shabda vichedam here, split the words and sing. There is another word in English called splitting of hair. That will happen. I'll tell you how to split this. Aganita guna gana. Aganita guna gana. Kanaka chela. The one who has got gold like attire. Sir, can you wear gold attire? One MLA in Pune, he has got gold shirt of 3 kgs. You can check Google. So Kanaka chela. When Pune MLA wears, why can't Rama not wear? So, Kanaka Chela, Aganita Guna Gana, Kanaka Chela, Sala Vidalana. Rama was able to prove his valor by shooting an arrow at the 7 Shala trees. Sala Vidalana. Arunabha Samana Charana, the one who has got feet that are reddened like the eastern horizon in the early morning. Arunabha Samana Charana. Apara Mahima Adbhuta. Apara Mahima, the one whose Mahima, Vaibhavam, is beyond our understanding, beyond our realm of understanding. Apara Mahima Adbhuta. Sukavijana Hritsadana, the one who stays in the heart of good poets. Sukavijana Hritsadana. Sura Muni Gana Vihita, the one who is celebrated by Sura Muni Gana. Kalasha Neera Nidhija Ramana. The one he is the beloved of the one who is born from the oceanic waters, which is Mahalakshmi. Papa Gaja Nrisimha Vara, the one who is able to remove the sins committed by Tyagaraja, whose sins are like Papa Gaja, like an elephant, and Rama is the one who is the lion which pounces and tears it open. Now Aganita Guna Aganita Guna Gana Kanaka Chela, Sala Vidalana, Arunabha Samana Charana, Apara Mahimadbhuta, Sukavijana Hritsadana, Suramunigana Vihita, Kalasha Neera Nidhija Ramana, Papa Gajan Simhavara Tyagaraja Dinuta. This is how we have to do the Vichedam. Aganita Guna Gana Kanaka Chela, Sala Vidalana, Arunabha Samana Charana, Apara Mahimadbhuta, Sukavijana Hritsadana, Suramunigana, Vida Kalasha Neera Nidhija Ramana, Papa Gajan Simhavara Tyagaraja Dinuta. You don't even know where to split. Same here in Purusha Suktam. When we sing, we have to put the gum sound. Whereas when we split in a lecture like this, Purusha, Eva, Idam, Sarvam. In the present, he is the one who rules it. In the past, Yad Bhutam. In the past also. In the future, Yadcha Bhavyam. Even in the future. Uta amritattvasya ishanaha. Amritattvasya. Here, amritattvasya ishanaha means the one who is the ruler of Vaikuntham, of Moksha Pradata, the one who bestows moksha on us. Then, Yadannenati rohati, the one whose Yad Annam, for whom the Bhogya Vastu is us, the Jivatma and its Shariram. So the Achetana and the Chetana are his body. Then, Yaha Annena Adhirohati. So there are 2 possibilities here. Yaha Annena Adhirohati Saha Amritattvasya Api Saha Ishanaha. The Purusha who grows up and ascends by that Anna. Atti Attum Yogyam Annam. The one who which is worthy of our consumption. Attum. So, Kanada, there was a Rishi. Have you heard of a Rishi called Kanada? What sutras did he come up with? What is Kanada Maharishi famous for? Kanada. What is that theory called? Vaisheshika. So, we had 2 Rishis called Akshapada Gautama. Akshapada Gautama came up with Nyaya Sutras. Kanada Maharishi came up with the Vaisheshika Sutras. We are all enriched by the knowledge of both Kanada and Gautama through WhatsApp messages. See, Kanada found that day itself. What was Kanada Maharishi? Kanan atti iti Kanada. Kanan means very little, atomic, which means he used to eat very little. What is the moral of the story? Only when you eat little, your knowledge will grow. Kanan atti Kanada. So, that is why Yoga Sutras say, if you want to concentrate more, eat less. But our dietitian says a different thing. See, that person says, keep eating little every 2 hours. That is why we are not able to remember. We are able to satisfy the dietitian, but our dharmic knowledge doesn't increase. Kanan atti iti kanada. Attum yogyam. Whatever is worthy of our consumption is annam. That is why annena atirohati. What is the annam for Bhagavan? Us. He eats us. So literally does he eat? Remember, I've been telling from lecture 1. In Purusha Suktam, it is drishta vidhi, illustration. That is all. Now, the second possibility is saha amritatvasya ishanaha api yaha ishanaha annena adhirohati. So, though he is the Lord of immortality, yet he grows up and ascends by the anna. He grows by the anna. So, after discussing this, we are now going to go to the third mantra. Namaskara Mastikas. I'm tentatively scheduled to travel to Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the mid-February, to 7 cities in the countries of Australia and New Zealand, namely Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Auckland and Wellington between the 25th of February and the 25th of March. I'm scheduled to travel to Singapore either in the month of April or January, and later I'll be rendering discourses in New Jersey, Boston, Maryland, Pittsburgh, and then in St. Louis and Indianapolis in the month of July. I'm sure you would love to share this message with your friends and relatives.
Dear Astika reader, I'm happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.